AFTV Turkish defeat tonight. Really disappointing. Talk to me, bro. What went wrong?
To be honest with you, I've seen it coming all season. I mean, in the last fan cam I done after Bournemouth, I said I still don't see the fluidity that I would have liked to have seen building off the back of the season we had last season, and the comment section ripped me to shreds about it because it was a 4-0 win. But you got to delve further into that 4-0 win and ask yourself how many big chances we created, because the two penalties that we got at the moment that the penalty incident happened, it wasn't a goal-scoring chance. The first one comes off the post after Jesus header, fortunately lands to Saka. It's a tap-in, essentially. I want to see us create more chances, and I think tactically something's changed this summer/this season that has kind of nullified a bit of our attack. Now, leading up to this game, a lot of the argument back to me was that, you know, a bit of the attack is nullified, hands are up there, but it's because of more control and more security defensively. But the reality is we've conceded quite a few goals this season. I wouldn't say, you know, you look at Arsenal's defence now and you see a much stronger defence than last season. I think it's pretty much similar outside looking in. If opposition teams, managers, fans are looking at Arsenal, I think they still see similar susceptible moments defensively that you can take advantage of, and teams have taken advantage of that this season. So I think the lack of fluidity issue has been coming, and I mentioned earlier on in the season, maybe a few games in, I said, listen, either we look at the performances not matching up to what we expect, but the results still, you know, coming in and the 3 points still coming in, and say we're going to swing one way and the performances are going to get better, and, you know, the results that we've picked up, having had our performances a bit lower than the standard we've set last season, it bodes well. But it could work the other way, where the results catch up to the performances. And by that, I mean, when you're not creating enough, when you're not fluid enough, when you're not aggressive enough in the final third, you can lose or draw games that maybe you'd expect to have won, or on the big scheme of things over the 90 minutes you deserve to have won. I just think Arsenal have a problem right now at creating. And I look at the midfield and the improvements that we were said to have made on last season. And as much as Declan Rice has come in, and you know what, if we had won the game, he would be my candidate for man of the match. And if you asked me who our best player was, it was him again. On the flip side, we have a Kai Havertz. And I'm not blaming Kai Havertz for today, because a lot of players today were a letdown. But Kai Havertz comes into a pivotal role at Arsenal. It was to finally upgrade upon Xhaka. And so far this season, on the ball, I haven't seen an upgrade on Xhaka, which is crazy to say. Runs into the box, I haven't seen an upgrade from Xhaka. And to be honest, wanting the ball, I haven't seen an upgrade on Xhaka yet. So I'm not going to dwell too much on Kai Havertz now, but, you know, my patience is wearing thin with that signing, and it was a big one this summer. Overall, I think Arteta really needs to assess the changes he's made this season and ask himself, is this going to take us over the line? Is this going to get us closer to City? Because so far, these changes have really frustrated me as an Arsenal fan. Even though this is our first loss this season, I wanted to see better from Arsenal, and I'm yet to see that. So overall, I think it comes down to Arteta, not this loss, but the way we're playing. I think tactically and the transfer of Havertz has really had a negative impact on us so far this season.
Yeah, listen, Mikel's getting quite a lot of pressure from the Arsenal fan base for tonight. The decision to play Bukayo Saka, David Raya has been put into the team. He made a mistake tonight. Kai Havertz, you've mentioned. They're all decisions that he's made. Can you understand why there's been some concerns and some pressure towards him?
Of course. I mean, you know, when you're at this level, and this is where I'm going to go back and give credit to Arteta, because Arteta's taken us here, where our first loss in the season coming 11 games in, 10 games in, we're looking at it with more concern, because when he picked up Arsenal, we wasn't concerned about Manchester City or Champions League. So credit to Arteta for taking us here. He's raised the bar, he's raised the standard. It's up to him now to keep us there and elevate us from there. And I don't think he's done that this season so far. I think it's a conundrum leading up to Manchester City, especially now with Saka. And the Saka thing's big for me, because 90% of Arsenal fans I spoke to prior to this game, we all expected Saka to be rested. We all wanted Saka to be rested, because we all thought we could beat Lens without Saka. Now, people might look in hindsight and say, look, you didn't even beat him with Saka on the pitch for 30 minutes. But the reality is we should be in a position where we beat Lens away from home, at home, without Saka or without one or two key players. the amount of money we've spent and what we've done in the summer on last season, we should be in a position where we can rotate and still be confident. So I think not sacrificing Saka, but risking Saka in this game was very silly. And I said, if it works out, it works out. But it didn't. And I've just seen Arteta, I've just read Arteta's post-match conference notes, and he says it doesn't look good on Saka. And going into Manchester City now on Sunday, listen, it was a perfect weekend after we beat Bournemouth and they lost the game and Liverpool lost too. Tonight was the opposite of perfect. It was near enough a catastrophe because we didn't get the points, and Saka's picked up an injury that, quote, manager, it doesn't look good. I think Arteta needs to do better, and I lean back on the whole Reece Nelson contract. Why give him a contract? If Trossard and Martinelli are injured, you're not starting him. Or if Saka needs a rest, you're not starting him. When Saka gets injured, you take him off, but bring Vieira on. When the most like-for-like winger you have is Reece Nelson. When Vieira come on, pace was gone. The pace was gone because then Jesus would be dragged out on the right because we needed to accommodate Vieira more centrally. It's a lot of overthinking, overcoaching, overtinkering, and overall, it's a lack of fluidity. And again, the people in the comment section of my last fan camp, it's jarring because it's like you can't have one criticism or say one negative without, a certain section of the fan base jumping on you. I don't care about XG, I don't care about XA, XH, field tilt. I don't give a shit about any of those things. XSTFU. That's what I think. I'm watching with my eyes and I'm seeing us have opportunities to counter, but reset instead. I'm seeing a player on the ball, whether it be Vieira, whether it be Jesus, whether it be Havertz or Odegaard, pick it up with a clear pass between the lines to set up a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-3 or a 4-on-4. But instead of making that decision, turns round and passes it to a fullback, Zinchenko or Tomiyasu or Ben White, whoever it is, to reset. And yes, that might bring more control, but certain times, look, we all expect the teams to go up a low block against us. The last 4 teams haven't. Tottenham at the Emirates, it wasn't a low block. Brentford wasn't a low block. Bournemouth wasn't a low block. And tonight against Lens wasn't a low block. I understand having more control and choking the opponent out with possession against low blocks. I don't understand it when a team's pressing like they did tonight with Lens and you have opportunities to pick them off, but you fail to take them. I just don't understand it.
Listen, I spoke to you at the start of the night and you said, I'm looking forward to the weekend. We just got to get the job done tonight. We didn't get the job done tonight. Has that changed the way you look at things moving into the weekend?
I don't look at that Man City game and think it's going to go well. Honestly, I don't. Especially without Saka now. I know they're going to be missing Rodri. I know they're going to be missing De Bruyne, but yet they still have great players, great experienced players. They have the best manager in world football. So as much as they haven't got Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne, they've got treble winners in their side. They've got a multiple treble winning manager, a manager that's dominated this league for the last 6-7 years. So I don't think it's going to go well for us on Sunday. Here we go with the comments. Overreactionary. Turkish is always negative, always pessimist. But the reality is, give me one performance this season. I asked them to watch along. Give me one performance this season where you can say, if we play like that against Manchester City, we win. There isn't one. The closest one is PSV, but the reality is PSV opened up for us.
Yeah,
Man City ain't opening up for us. We're going to have to pick the lock. And right now we're struggling to pick locks. Again, evidence tonight.
Let's hope we can bounce back. Turkish, big up.